Hello, my creative collective. Welcome to your reading, Gemini. This is your burning question reading. Today, we're going to be diving into the question, how can I rewrite this story that I've been telling myself? So let's dive right in. I would like to invite the angels, my guardian angels, spirit guides, protectors, teachers, and their healing energy to this space. And I ask that it is a safe space that allows for the fullest expression of our light, humanity, ascension, and healing. Okay, let's do this, Gemini. My Gemma gems. This is the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. Exchanging gifts. Isn't that beautiful? Exchanging gifts. Huh. Round and round. Message in a bottle. I almost get this impression that there's going to be a cycle that ends related to this story that you're telling yourself. This can be about love, money, career, general finance stuff. Like money, I think of as separate than finance in terms of building wealth and all of that stuff. So, same thing though at the end of the day. I think, though, that there's something like a cycle that's ending. And I think you have to see the kind of gift of it first. So we have exchanging gifts. You have to see the gift in it. And that's such an oversimplified explanation, I know. But I think that there's something that is coming to the fore here. And then we have message in a bottle. And I think that the message in a bottle is really the message that you're getting from spirit about this situation. And I think I'm getting that it's coming to you in dreams, possibly coming to you in dreams. Spirit, what do you have for Gemini? Can you give me some info here from my wonderful Geminis? Team Gemini. What have we got for this story that we're rewriting? Four of Pentacles. I just heard reluctance. Exactly like that in my head. Some reluctance. Yeah. This is on the bottom, but it's stuck. There we go. Some reluctance, I think. And honestly, it looks like reluctance with quite good reason. What else have we got here, Spirit? Oh, Three of Pentacles. So Three of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. Whatever this is, I think it's going to help you accomplish something bigger than just this situation and story alone. Like, I get the feeling that this is connected to something that goes a little bit deeper for you. And just deeper in the sense of it's connected in a way that you might not expect. What else have you got for me, Spirit? I'm almost hearing like imposter syndrome. And maybe you've had this idea that you don't actually belong somewhere because I get this impression of almost like take only what you need. Don't let anyone know that you were here. Like that idea of like, whoo, and you have to like creep and like just like tiptoe through things to get this gift. But I think that there's a message here of overflowing abundance because the 10 of Pentacles was on the bottom. I'll put it here. Yeah. And below the 10 of Pentacles was the 5 of Pentacles, which is that idea of not enoughness. And I think this is a call for you right now to don't look down, look around you and up, right? Look around you and up. Because if you're looking down, and this is metaphorically speaking, if you're looking down, your eyes are faced towards the ground, which is kind of how that's like the sort of hunched over look that we get when we're sad or trying not to make eye contact with anyone. We're trying to like sneak away in the night, almost like take only what you need. Don't touch anything more. Like that idea of like, from Disney's Aladdin, right? Don't touch anything other than the lamp that you came for, because everything else will crumble around you. Even though you're surrounded by riches and you're surrounded by abundance, don't touch anything else. And in the movie, there's a good reason for that. But I think that this here for you is a reminder that there's a gift that you have to kind of stand and face. Like you have to look people in the eye a little bit. You have to look people in the eye, and that's probably quite intimidating for you, my Geminis, but I think that there is definitely something to be said here for you overcoming this and moving forward. The world popped out. The world on the split on round and round, and that to me is also indicative of cycles ending. The world also represents Saturn energy. And Saturn, the Queen of Wands, came flying out from the side, almost as though it was like, hey, look at me. Like, I got this image of the card being like, wee, as it like flew past. So we have the Queen of Wands and the Magician, which tells me that there's something that you're deeply passionate about. And there's also this sense of determination, like you. And sometimes when we and the Queen of Wands is also someone who puts themselves out there, right? Like, this isn't a shrinking violet. And I think that maybe this is a call for you to go from this shrinking violet self to understanding that it's okay for you to be a little bit different than that, right? And this is kind of the Magician is manifesting energy in this sense, though. I'm getting it almost that you're connecting to this eternal part of you, the little infinity, right? This eternal part of you that exists beyond and before and after this story that is holding you back a little bit. So it's almost like you're connecting to this eternal part, possibly through meditation. This round and round, to me, it strikes me as going within energy, which is quite important when it comes to overcoming cycles like this, or even just moving through or past them. Sorry, I'm unzipping my hoodie a little bit because it was hitting the microphone. So I wanted to explain it so you didn't just hear this, disembodied zip. As comical as that might be. But yeah. So, but the manifesting power here, I think that you have perhaps more power than you've been giving yourself, or you haven't necessarily been giving yourself enough credit. And I think that this is also about clarity, communicating with clarity. Now, this is not a court card by any means, but what this tells me is that there's a determination, and you can really only get determined when you are in an authentic place, and you can really only be authentic and determined when you're in a place of clarity. So it's almost like clarity enters the scene ahead of these things, because this is sort of passion and passionate energy mobilized towards something, right? And no truer than with the Magician clarifying it. So I'm getting this impression, Gemini, that this story that you're overcoming, and if not overcoming, then just moving past. I don't even see it as like a blasting through. I see it as more a quiet integration of something that you really, at your core. And Pluto, so Jupiter, I have Jupiter on the brain apparently. Judgment and Pluto are here on the bottom. And this to me speaks of like, it's like the tower, light, because it is Pluto energy. The Judgment card is also, to me, sort of divine downloads coming to you. I think this is sort of spirit working in unison with you in this really focused and energized place. I'm going to get some clarity on this story and how we overcome this, how we move past this, how we integrate it. Spirit, can you clarify these details for my wonderful Geminis? Message in a bottle strikes me as more of an outcome, but I want to find out the path there, because I think that just saying, overcoming a cycle is great, but it doesn't really give us too many details. I'm just going to ask for a single card. King of Cups. So I think that this is really fully embracing yourself. This is also... Okay, Spirit, there's a lot of messages coming through. This is sort of holding yourself in a supportive but firm place that doesn't really resist accountability and responsibility for your well-being, right? This is self-awareness. So I think this is a very internal process in keeping with the Pluto card here and transformation inwardly out. But I think that you're getting messages from Spirit right now about this, and that's where this message in a bottle is coming from. So it may be less to do with with a person and more to do with your relationship to Spirit, I think. And as I say that, the King of Pentacles comes out as if to be like, well, it might be a person. It could be, though, that these messages that you're getting through synchronicities, songs, being clairaudient, the songs happen to me often. But I feel like there's a way that this could also be up at night. So 9 of Swords, 10 of Swords. The messages truly are transformative, though. Yeah, I think that you're taking what was ungrounded and you're rounding it out into a source of inspiration. And because of the struggle, so we had 9 of Swords and 10 of Swords, I think because of the struggle, you may not be inclined to trust this little page, this little spark inside of you. But I think that it is safe for you to trust it. And it's part of... I think it's something that you may not necessarily want to look at first, in terms of the role that it has and the importance of it. It's like the Eight of Cups is like pretending the issues don't exist, and the King of Cups is here, to say this is how we move through it. Like, you're gonna want to just be like, man, no, and just focus on things that are nicer feeling, right? Like escapism a little bit, a tiny bit. And I think that the inclination to do that is there because we've had so much Pisces energy lately, like so much. My Jupiter's in Pisces, and with all the Jupiter energy too lately, this can kind of, for me, it feels a little bit more comfortable. Not entirely, like I have no idea where I'm going with certain things, but I'm putting things out there based on what feels good. And that can be maybe what you need to do here instead of looking at it from an escape route. Or looking for, I just heard escape in my head. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my guides truly are like cartoon characters, honestly. I think that this is you resisting the urge to, it's like facing the urge to escape head on, right? Like looking at it head on. And that's what is the transformative power that gets you into this Queen of Wands state where you're feeling ambitious, determined, authentic, and you're in your truth and you're moving forward. And just that's that, right? 11:11 was just on the time. So what I'm going to do, Gemini, is pull from the chakra deck, just some direct wisdom here in terms of moving forward. I'm getting some vibes of throat chakra, but also solar plexus as well when we're retelling this story. Maybe some heart too, the way that they're connected. They're talking to each other and there's a blockage. It feels somewhere in the middle, I heard. Protection. Clarity, yes, indeed. One more. Compassion. Okay, so we have protection. So this is related to the third eye. Okay. I release the need for armor and protection as I recognize that I am always guided and safe. The more I let go of fear and mistrust, the more protected I feel. It is safe for me to choose love and possibility over fear and hopelessness. I trust in my light, the divine light, and the wisdom that ensues from the alchemy of spirit and matter. All is perfect just as it is. Some throat chakra issues there, coughing a little bit. Maybe this is something that you don't want to see. That you don't want to see that you are protected and that there is no need for armor. Because it's just the tickle in my throat came out of absolutely nowhere and it's not my own. All is perfect just as it is. Maybe you need to remember that. All is well, right? Clarity. I know when to stay silent and when to speak. I speak with clarity, knowing what to say and how to say it. I take enough time to go inward, listen, reflect, understand, and gain clarity of thought. I take the time to say and express exactly what I need to. I have clarity. Right? So I think that you need to be reminded that I think that these are so deeply connected. Compassion coming out too, right? I see all things through eyes of love in my heart. I find compassion and understanding for those who are struggling and misaligned with themselves, their higher wisdom and purpose. I am kind and compassionate with myself and others and forgive myself for my judgments. I am compassionate. So I think this is a call for you, Gemini, to perhaps give yourself a little bit more of the benefit of the doubt, because chances are you are doing the best that you can with what you have, right? And I think that the long run here, the long take, if I were to pull back and sit in this world energy here, this to me represents sort of seeing through the eyes of, non-duality, non-local consciousness. It's almost like seeing through God mind, right? The reason being is just this, there's a whole lot happening in this card that came to me this morning. But I think that what we're looking at here is this sort of coming together. Initially, this card was regarded in terms of the hermaphrodite and like the coming together, the unity of these two disparate parts. And to me, this is this comes across as a lot of like higher mind, higher self, that sort of Christ consciousness energy that we all have in us. And if not Christ consciousness, if that feels too kind of triggering and more to the religious side of things, the way that I look at this is really spirit, right? Spirit, and looking at it through that higher vision, especially with the victory loop there too. But I think that all of this coming together, if we take this look and we look at it through these eyes, if we look at it through this perspective, what we'll see is certainly that there's a sense of clarity that comes, but clarity may not be as accessible to us until we remember that we're protected. And the first step in that equation is us having compassion for ourselves and where we are, instead of blaming yourself and saying, "Oh, I'm here again," ugh, ugh, and you're just making all of these syllables at yourself, when what you really need to do is just truly let yourself off the hook and remember that you're protected. And that you also can stay clear. You don't necessarily have to have the whole picture just to be clear on how you feel, right? King of Cups. Don't feel like you have to have everything, organized and sorted completely before you can have compassion for yourself, right? Compassion does not have a limit. Nor does it have a way that you need to be before you get access to it. Yeah, throat chakra for sure. I speak with confidence because the world needs my light. Absolutely. Absolutely. 555 was just on the time in the form of 1555. So maybe I think that this is connected to change for some folks. And I think that this is really, we're changing the story that we tell about ourselves, right? And that we tell about our experience. I can change my patterns when I change my mind about them, as if the spirit went there. Oh gosh, that's funny. I can change my patterns when I change my mind about them. Yeah, and this is about it. This is it though, right? We have to first want to make the change. We have to first want to see the gift. And honestly, we think about change in terms of these like big, hard things that we're doing. But sometimes this is how easy the starting point is, Gemini. It's not some complex, spiritual, esoteric concept that you have to dress for and show up at midnight and there's a code word. And, have you ever seen the show The Order on Netflix? Because I have. And I was like, wow, that is like, how many people think that spiritual journeys are that complicated, right? It was a good show, but still, how many people think that it's that complex, right? And I think that this is where we need to remember, we need to ground, we need to King of Pentacles, this ground where we want to go in the reminder that all that we need to do is start with a willingness. Spirit often takes care of the rest. 1717 on the time. Spirit takes care of the rest, right? So give yourself some rest. We have, I think we had the Four of Swords here. Did we? I keep getting Four of Swords vibes. I think we had Nine of Swords. This is the notes from the universe on love and connection deck. I'm going to put a link to it in the description below if you would like to get it. It is an affiliate link, so that is a thing, just so that I can put more resources towards this channel and this work that I'm doing. So if you feel so inclined, that's the deck that I'm using. It's very pretty and I love it. So notes from the universe, messages, Spirit. Can I get some final messages for Gemini, please? And thank you. No. Everyone is doing their best. Yes. Oh my gosh. Everyone is doing their best. Gemini. A little bit of compassion for yourself, right? There are really only two types of people, those you now love and those you will love, until there's only one type of person, and then we'll probably hit replay. The game of life, universe. And I'm also getting that round and world card, this aspect of like cycles and like past lives, right? Like everyone's doing their best. And then it's like we keep figuring it out as we go. I'm going to try and hold on to these. Sorry. Yeah. There are really only two types of people, those you now love and those you will love, until there's only one type of person, and then we'll probably hit replay. I got a lot of potential past life vibes off of that one. It was very strong, and especially with the Judgment card, and the Judgment card can reference that, but I got those vibes for sure. One more. Okay. Just so that you know, things are about to get really good. I feel like that's things are about to get really juicy. I should say really juicy. I'm down with that. Things are about to get really juicy. Who wouldn't want that, right, Gemini? A little heads up on an addiction that afflicts all really old souls. Giving love eventually becomes an even greater need than receiving love. See, you're not strange. Love the universe. That's amazing. That might just be the title of this reading. And you know how things get really juicy, Gemini, is you let go You start with forgiveness and you start with compassion, and you just be willing to change. All you need is the willingness. Let Spirit take care of the rest, right? So if this reading resonated for you and the story that you've been telling yourself, Gemini, I would love to hear it in the comments. Feel free to like and subscribe as well. It helps me to grow the channel and to continue to do this, which I really love. And I'm super humbled to be able to do this. So it helps me to grow, and also just to get found in YouTube algorithms and all of that weird stuff that I have no idea. But you're kind of building this community with me, which I really appreciate and enjoy. So thank you so much for being here. And if you want to connect in other ways, you can do so through different variations of readings that I have in terms of dailies, monthlies, and around moon cycles, that kind of thing. If this is where we part though, Gemini, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, night, right? Morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are on the time-space continuum. So take care.